For decades, mariners whispered about a ghost ship that appeared in the North Atlantic, only to vanish without a trace. This mysterious vessel, known as the Midnight Tide, was said to be cursed, crewed by shadows and lost souls. No one knew its true nature, but the stories were enough to keep even the bravest sailors away. Until, one moonless night, a group of marine archaeologists, led by the enigmatic Dr. Marcus Hale, decided to unravel the enigma. Dr. Hale, along with his team, Anna, Victor, and Elena, set sail on the Endeavour, a state-of-the-art research vessel. They were drawn by an old maritime map that Dr. Hale had discovered, indicating the possible location of the Midnight Tide. The map was cryptic, scrawled with ancient symbols and warnings. As the Endeavour cut through the cold waters, an eerie fog enveloped them, thickening with each passing hour. Suddenly, their instruments went haywire, compasses spinning wildly, and electronic equipment flickering. From the fog, the Midnight Tide materialized, a towering specter of a ship, its sails tattered and its hull covered in barnacles. The crew felt a strange pull, a compulsion to board the ghostly vessel. Dr. Hale, driven by an insatiable curiosity, led the way. As they stepped aboard, the temperature dropped sharply. The deck was slick with seawater, and the air was filled with the faint scent of brine and something metallic. The ship's silence was unnerving, broken only by the distant sound of creaking wood. It felt as if the Midnight Tide was alive, watching them. They split up to explore, each drawn to different parts of the ship. Anna found herself in the captain's cabin, where an ornate, ancient map lay spread out on a dusty table. The map's intricate details matched the one Dr. Hale had found, but with one addition, a blood-red line leading to a dark abyss marked as the Maw. Meanwhile, Victor and Elena discovered a grand ballroom, its mirrors covered in a thick layer of grime. As they wiped away the dust, their reflections seemed to linger, moving independently and staring back with hollow eyes. Dr. Hale wandered into the cargo hold, where he encountered an array of old, rotting crates. One crate, in particular, caught his eye, marked with the same ancient symbols from the map. As he pried it open, a gust of icy wind swept through, extinguishing his lantern. In the darkness, he felt a presence, a cold, oppressive force. The air was heavy with an almost palpable dread. He found an old journal inside, its pages brittle and yellowed. The last entry described the crew's descent into madness after finding an artifact that promised unimaginable power. As Dr. Hale read aloud, the ship shuddered. The fog outside thickened, and the temperature plunged. The crew's shadows began to stretch and twist, taking on unnatural shapes. The shadows on the mirrors in the ballroom began to dance, moving without their physical counterparts. Panic set in as the crew realized they were not alone. Suddenly, the ship's bell tolled, resonating through the hull. The walls seemed to close in, and the shadows grew darker and more solid. A whispering chorus filled the air, incomprehensible but filled with menace. The crew members reunited in the captain's cabin, where the map and journal lay. As they pieced together the cryptic clues, they realized the Midnight Tide was not just a ship but a vessel for something ancient and malevolent, feeding off the fear and despair of those it ensnared. Desperate to escape, they tried to retrace their steps to the Endeavour, but the Midnight Tide seemed to shift and change, corridors twisting and doors vanishing. The ship was a labyrinth, designed to trap them forever.